Welcome to Investors Insights. Our topic today is fireworks, gas prices, and vacation. Here we are the week of 4th of July, celebrating our independence of our country. It's also the beginning of the third quarter for 2019, and we're halfway through the year, which is hard to believe. It's gone by like that. So there's a lot going on that we've got to cover here this morning. Bobby, talk about all that's going on with G20 in terms of negotiations. We've still got the China and U.S. tariffs to talk about.
Yeah, so great news over the weekend that a trade war truce was made between China and the U.S., which basically puts a hold on an additional $300 billion of new tariffs. So that's a good thing, but there's still a lot of uncertainty because the current tariffs remain in place. So current tariffs are remaining to continue to cause a lot of pain for both countries, their economies. And so now our attention turns to the Fed. Is the Fed going to look at this truce and say, okay, we might not need to cut as much, or are they going to remain data dependent and continue to see pain, and they will continue to cut, or the thought process where they will cut more?
And I'd say the market is pretty much 100% priced in. The Fed's going to cut. So if they don't, that would be a shock.
Totally agree with you on that.
Which is always bad. So that's a really good thing to watch.
Yeah, and a fun fact leading into July 4th is 86% of our fireworks are imported from China. So that could be some table talk, talking to family and friends over the holiday.
Yeah, very much so.
So those prices
firework prices will be up.
That is a concern.
4th of July. Yeah, I understand. And then on that note, Ashley, you talked about a whole nother scenario that's taking place. As Americans, we're focused on the China-U.S. negotiations, but there's other trade talks going on as well, right?
Absolutely. Greg's right about that. On Friday, you may have missed this. The European Union and 4 of the major economies in South America, including the top 2, Argentina and Brazil, formed a massive trade pact called Mercosur, M-E-R-C-O-S-U-R. What's interesting about that is that will cover 780 million people in the world. That's 25% of the world's economy. Yeah. So our point to you is that this trade stuff is not just the U.S. and China, as Greg suggests. There's a lot more going on. The reason that formation was done is Europe is high tolerance machinery, like Germany exports. Latin America is a lot agricultural, so if you form that block, it's pretty powerful.
Oh yeah, very much.
And you look at it and you go, well, why are they together? What kind of reminds us, since we're in football territory, of kind of the Southeastern Conference when they added Missouri a few years ago. You look at that in terms of traditional geography and you're like, why are they in this? Well, the answer is television and revenue. So you're getting a lot of trade alliances formed around the world that you would have expected that will have impact on your money.
Yeah, well, changes are occurring regardless. And you got Brexit going on, which the European Union's really focused on. Everybody's been focused on that.
And I think the U.S. has been very pro-Brexit, which probably frustrated Europe. So now Europe's coming in our backyard and making deals with our neighbors.
Yeah. No, you're right about that. And also, we talked about fireworks. Now let's talk about gas prices.
That's right. Let's try and keep fireworks away from the gas pump. But we should see some. You should be seeing some spikes in gas prices, which regrettably is at a horrible time. While the U.S. and China are meeting, OPEC also met and agreed to extend their production cuts. So that has extended the rally in oil prices. Oil is up around 15% in the last few weeks. So you should see that at the pump. I think just locally, I've seen prices go from around $2.12 to $2.30, $2.40 in some places a gallon. So that price at the pump has been rising, and we'd expect it to continue to rise. And so that as you're driving around on July 4th, you may take a little bit bigger hit on your pocketbook. I think the U.S. consumer, which already had the sentiment was falling, this may extend that sentiment drop if the U.S. consumer is having to spend a bigger percentage of their budget on rising gas prices.
Right, but Adam brought up a point about consumers. Talk about that.
With all the U.S.-China trade war talks going on and oil prices, we see that trickle down to the consumer. And consumer confidence it's down. But at the same time, we saw consumer spending rise 0.4% for the month of May, and that included vehicles, restaurants, and hotel accommodations. So we're seeing leisure activities being spent. So while consumer confidence is down, we're seeing consumer spending as well as personal income. It's rising another 0.5% for the month of May, which has included another $10 billion back into the economy. So we also have that going on. Now, we might see some consumers stay away from the gas stations and fireworks, but besides that, consumer spending's on the rise.
That's good. The good old American consumer, when sad, spend money.
That's right.
That's right. Very, very true. Or how long can this last in this economy?
That's a good point.
We better do it now while times are good. So we're going to keep you posted this 4th of July holiday. We hope you celebrate our independence with family and friends, or just take it easy and enjoy your day off. But with that said, we thank you for watching our vlog. We appreciate you sharing it with others, also following us on social media. And we hope you have a great 4th of July, and we look forward to talking to you next week.